Okay, everybody, we're ready to go here on a Wednesday midweek. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. So glad you are with us here today in association with our friends at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com. Barry sporting the baseball cap today. I wondered if it was an early tea time this morning or maybe a late night last night. He informs me it's neither.
Yes, you'll see me during the course of the year in a baseball cap, and 99 times out of 100 is because I'm on the road with Troy Sports in some hotel room somewhere and don't want to wake up my roommate earlier and, take a shower. Yesterday, went to the dermatologist, which I do every 6 months, and got stitches right here. And so I didn't want to subject you to that. So it's ball cap for the next couple of days. Yeah. I think.
Ben, it's kind of like we talk about men making sure they get prostate checks, exams, and everything else like that. I mean, obviously, skin cancer is serious business as well.
Yep, I've had to deal with it for a while. My poor father had to deal with it for many years, so I take it seriously, and I encourage everybody else to. Growing up as a fair-skinned guy in Central Florida, my whole life was not a great combination for me. So you got to keep it under control. Most of the time, it's not anything. He just says you're good to go and all that, but it's good that if there is something, and there were a couple things that everything is all taken care of. Bill from Baltimore expresses some relief at the ball cap. He said, "I'm glad to hear that it's Barry and not a poor execution of Dennis Mitchell's crew cut idea." Yeah, that's a good point. Dennis says I need a haircut, and I probably do, but crew cut? No, I don't think I'm ever going crew cut,
No. Barry, I'll tell you something, a little bit of advice for the fellas out there as well, and I was slow to the game on this one. Yeah. But I guess after, I don't know, it wouldn't be an aftershave, but I always put on a little something after I shave because, shaving kind of, be a little sting you a little bit. You need to soften
irritating.
A little irritating, and you need to soften that skin back up. So I use one that has a sunscreen in it. Yep. So just walking outside, or if you're cutting the grass or something, people probably don't think about that. Like, I don't need any sunscreen, but I've been doing that for years.
It's a habit now, and that's what people need to. They need to establish that habit for sure. Don't even think about it. It's kind of like teeth sucking and and
lip flutters.
It's just a habit. We are in that period in the sports season in Alabama, John, where it's like what was the name of that roller coaster on the Miracle Strip in Panama City? Well, like the one at Six Flags. What was that one called?
Scream Machine?
Yeah, the Great American Scream Machine.
Yeah, where
you're in it, you've gone up, you hear the chun chun chun, you hear the gears grind, and you're at the top, and you see, this is a deep drop here. All right, everybody, hang on. And we're not yet underway in the roller coaster, but we're right at the very top. And for a lot of people, it doesn't begin, say, August 23rd. 3 weeks away, when Iowa State and Kansas State do battle in Dublin.
Ugh.
It's not even really on, say, Saturday, August 30th, when you've got Alabama versus Florida State, you've got Auburn at Baylor, you've got Troy versus Nichols at the Vet. It's this day before everybody gets out there for the start of preseason camp, and they don't do anything. I mean, they're running sprints, and they're getting yelled at for not exactly adhering to the diet that the coaches prescribe during the off season or anything like that. But it's not real football yet. But still,
they're in it.
Checking the forums. You're checking the fan forums, and right now, what are they talking about? TigerInsider.com.
Auburn?
Hey, did you hear about Buford High School's new football stadium? Man, what happened to Decatur? Well, Hartzell has recruited all their good players. Thompson going to be any good? Everybody's just jonesing for some football. And we ain't there yet, but
Not
you can
there
see
yet.
it's just about to, the roller coaster is just about to begin.
You know, all those games that you mentioned earlier, I hope this, what are they calling it? A heat dome, a heat bubble? I hope it's gone by the time the games kick off in 3 or 4 weeks, because it has been really, really hot. Shane at TV8 tells me we're getting some cooler temperatures next week.
Whew,
so whatever he says, I'm in.
Rain. Yeah.
So you're right, Barry. It is preseason practice. I cannot give you all the details because it says in big bold letters highlighted, not for public release. But I think the public does know that about 5 minutes after we get off our live broadcast today, Alabama will hit the practice field today at 9:05. I believe Coach DeBoer will meet the media when that is over. So that kicks off today in Tuscaloosa. Also, Barry, what's interesting, and this happened last year, it's just still hard to get adjusted to, the coordinators will also face the media throughout preseason camp from time to time. Not every day, but select days, which I will not tell you when those will be. But I think that's interesting, and I think obviously the media likes it. I guess the fans like it as well. But it does. It starts today, and it'll be limited viewing. I was listening to something, maybe it was our friends at Jocks, Pat and those guys, Landrum, yesterday, and they were talking about, it was, because they're talking about UAB, and they were playing somebody years ago, and an opposing team's GAs got on top of an old grocery store to watch UAB practice. And really the point of it was that coaches and teams have gotten so, I don't want to say, I'd say concerned is a better word, about people watching them practice, filming it, hiding in places to look. And I'm thinking, man, I got busted doing that about 40 years ago. And how just, we're not giving you anything. And certainly I guess it helps the media. It hurts the media to give them that daily info. But man, it seems like schools all over the country are getting tighter and tighter about access to practice.
It used to be all you could do was, take notes, peek in, like at Auburn, they have a chain link fence on the practice fields down in Donahue. And the chain link has got the paneling on it, the tarp, and it used to be back in the day, if you wanted to, you could walk down that sidewalk. It's right on campus on Donahue. You can kind of peek through the chain link between where the tarp, comes to the fence post.
Yeah.
And you could take notes if you wanted to. Nowadays, man, you got your phone. You can film that thing. That's why you got some GAs, and I know this to be a fact. You got some GAs, football GAs, that 90% of their workload when practice is going on is not filming practice or logging plays or signaling, time for the next segment. They're scanning the horizon, man. They're looking around, checking that out. Back in the day, it used to be a little less technological than it is today. But then again, with so much more at stake, so much money, so much more in contracts, so much more in player contracts, they're a little bit more schizophrenic about it too. They're a little bit more paranoid about that kind of stuff.
Plus
the first couple of days, nobody's doing anything anyway.
That's true. That's true. And I mentioned that Alabama's sitting in the practice field this morning. Has Alabama played a cat and mouse game with their fans and their opponents? Is Ty Simpson really going to be the starter? I know they've said if they played today, he would be.
Yeah.
But this isn't DeBoer's guy. Jalen Milroe wasn't his guy. Is there going to be a quarterback competition in the next 3 weeks to determine who starts against Florida State?
No. There's not going to be a quarterback competition at Auburn either. They maybe say they will. Look, you've known this guy for 3 decades. You've known me. Now you get to see us on TV, so we look a little bit more reputable than sometimes we sounded on the radio. I get that. Take it from us. Even if you see over the next 2 or 3 weeks, quarterback competitions continue hot and heavy on Plains and at Capstone. Just remember we told you this. And you can tell your buddies whatever. Well, Longshore and McKnight said those races are over right now. Well, I don't know. What I'm hearing from the email that John referred to a little while ago is that, boy, it looks as though Austin Mack can make all the throws, and Keelan Russell, he's going to be special. And, I'm telling you right now, there is no quarterback competition. And by the way, one other thing, because John mentioned this.
Yeah.
He said he gets an email or he gets correspondence from something, and the thing says not for public consumption.
Or release or something of that
nature.
nature.
If you want one of those emails, go to BamaRedElephantClub.com.
That's on the dark web, Barry. That's not for public consumption.
BamaRedElephantClub.com. They got club information, news, membership information, calendar, game day,
meet and
ticket
greets,
exchange. But you also have to log in, and there's no place in there where it says sign up. You have to get that, I guess, somewhere other. You can't just log in and say, oh, my username, Bama Fanatic. Okay, this is great. Evidently there's something a little bit more involved. Maybe, blood from the fingertip, some sort of incantation or something like that. But that's how you get that information that they say is not for public consumption.
Okay, so just let me throw this out there. And there again, I mean, maybe there's not going to be a competition. Maybe Ty Simpson is going to be the starter. But I'm not naive enough to know or to think that, they want to keep all three of these guys around. They're not going to say something that'll have somebody packing their bags in April. So they're giving them the impression that there's still going to be a competition. But if we played tomorrow, Ty would probably be our starter, but we got to go through a preseason camp. And I'm thinking, what has Austin Mack, or what has Ty Simpson done more than Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, except sit in Tuscaloosa the last 3 years?
Took a couple snaps now, did a couple things.
He played in the South Florida game and got sacked 5 times. Some mop-up duty against Eastern Missouri Community College.
I remember that game.
But besides that, what actually has he done? And does DeBoer put all of his eggs in the Ty Simpson basket, a guy he did not recruit, similar like to what he did last season? I think it's 2 totally different scenarios with Milroe and Simpson, and I don't have a lot of time to really go into why I believe that, but I think But I'm not sure what Ty Simpson's done except light it up in spring practice.
Bided his time, been a good team guy. I don't know. I just think it's over. And I, to me, the big quarterback competition in Tuscaloosa and in Auburn is going to be a year from now, because Auburn's got a hotshot quarterback, Deuce Knight. Maybe, just maybe, Jackson Arnold struggles.
Look,
maybe, Ty Simpson just can't make the throws under duress, stuff like, I hear a lot about Deuce Knight. I hear a lot about Keelan Russell, and the only thing anybody's got to say against them is that they're true freshmen.
Next year they won't be. I'll throw this out there as well. And biding your time, look, from a guy that bided his time, it don't matter.
Yeah.
You could have been there 10 years. So what? You suck, sit on the bench.
This marks the 743rd straight time John's mentioned the word Biden, and it's come out negatively, by the way. Except this one's spelled differently.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I should have said enunciated better. Biding. Yeah, not Biden. Another thing to consider and to think about during this preseason camp, everywhere, but obviously we're talking about Tuscaloosa. Are there players around him, Ty Simpson, if he is the starter, that will kind of mask some of his deficiencies? I think you could, in the history of Alabama football, I mean, I'm watching a clip, believe it or not, I don't know how it popped up yesterday, of the 92 Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Jay Barker, and I'm thinking, how in the world did they win this game? He's throwing about 3 picks, not even close. I don't even know why Mal even called those plays. Stallings is probably spitting nails going, no more passes, Mal, no more. But he had a lot of great players around him. You could say that about several other quarterbacks.
Well, I
Greg
like
McElroy,
Jay. I like Jay. This is nothing personal, but who looked at him, in this time of the year, in spring ball, maybe in preseason camp, where all the quarterbacks, in the drill, they drop back together. I kind of like the way that looks. 4 or 5 quarterbacks dropping back together, 3-step drop, caught, look, throw, all in unison.
Yeah.
How many of them looked at that and saw that wounded duck coming out of his hand and said, oh, man, that guy's our starter? I mean,
I'm with you.
It's not necessarily that he completed, 3 out of 11 or something like that.
I can't believe they lifted 11 passes.
But the look of it, the look of it, I saw some and I'm thinking, wow. It reminds me of some of those old grainy black and white photos of 1934 when the football looked like a pumpkin. I mean, I'm thinking, what? All right.
But Barry, there's no Tua Tagovailoa, there's no Bryce Young. I thought AJ was a really good quarterback. I mean, he wasn't the level of those two, but I think he was pretty good. I mean,
throw some respect on John Parker Wilson's name.
Not
bad. I keep bringing that up.
He was good, but he's
left
not
with
in that
every
league.
Passing record.
I don't think he's in that league. Obviously, oh my Lord, won in 2020.
Mac Jones, you got to get your coffee.
No,
ready.
Not Mac Jones. Won the national title. Jake.
No, that wasn't Coker in 2020.
Coker, Jake
Coker. That was like
Jake Coker. Mac Jones probably in that John Parker Wilson category.
Struggles in naming Alabama's national championship quarterbacks. Auburn fans don't have that problem. Iowa State fans, not a problem. Kansas State, that takes them just a second to call. John's like, who national championship? That is a first world problem.
So there you need to see some more action.
Yeah,
from Ty Simpson. But right here today, I'm kind of putting him in that John Parker Wilson, Greg McElroy, Mac Jones. I don't even know. Mac Jones is still in the NFL. I'm not even sure. Maybe Greg McElroy category.
He's there.
He didn't throw a touchdown pass in a national championship game. So,
Mac,
I just
by
don't
the
know.
way, plays for the 49ers.
Oh, good for
these
him.
days.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So I'm just saying, as we go to break, is it really over?
It's over. I mean, I'll be Ferris Bueller in the shower after the credits. You still here? It's over. Go home. That's not what Ryan Grubb wants the quarterbacks to think. It's not what Kalen DeBoer wants the quarterbacks to think. It's not what Derek Nix and what Hugh Freeze wants from his quarterbacks. He's got that little lure. He doesn't want the bomber to dip yet. He's just trying to get everybody to follow it and everything.
Well,
but for all intents and purposes, John, OVER, over.
All right. So they go to Tallahassee, and the first 4 drives are 3 and outs, punts, or maybe 3 punts and a pick.
Yeah.
And everybody's getting restless. Everybody's thinking, wait a minute, this guy?
And then the older ones will say, I remember Blake Barnett. Yeah,
Malzahn's got Florida State going up and down the field. Oh.
Well, we're in a little flight of fancy here, but I'm telling you, the cold, hard, stark truth is that we know who the starting quarterbacks are going to be at Auburn and Alabama. A little bit later on, we'll visit with not only our moneyline magician, Josh Harris, in the next hour, but also leading off the next hour, C.J. Duncan, former SEC player, former NFL player, going to join us as well. The Phantoms Daily Dog.
Ooh.
Also, the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, and who knows what else. We're underway. He's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Did you know that Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air service fee is good for 30 days for all 4 trades? That's right. If we service your home's electric, plumbing, HVAC, or garage doors, we will come back within 30 days for any of the 4 trades at no additional cost to you. A licensed and trained Dixie technician will service your home with our signature warehouse on wheels, and all work will be backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. What are you waiting for?
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you are with us here today. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, along with our good friends at Yellow Hammer News and yellowhammernews.com. 3 schools, because we talked about the ones that did not bring quarterbacks to SEC Media Days.
Yeah.
And we know the schools that have experienced quarterbacks that these programs and these coaches seem comfortable and confident in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Kayla DeBoer is not comfortable and confident. Well, maybe I am. But Ty Simpson, not at the same level as Lenora Sellers at South Carolina or some of these other quarterbacks around the league.
Oh, yeah. There's guys who have kind of, well, this time last year, to John's point, there are guys at some of those schools who you just didn't know. Golly, what are they going to do? Guys like DJ Lagway at Florida, guys like Lenora Sellers at South Carolina, guys who you didn't, I don't know, Marcel Reed at Texas A&M, maybe. But these guys came in last year, and well, for Lenora Sellers from the beginning of the year. For Lagway, it was a little bit later after the starter got injured, and those guys are known commodities now. They've taken their opportunity and run with it. I'm not saying that it's a dead solid lock that Ty Simpson's going to be the starting quarterback when SEC play begins, or, when November rolls around. He has an opportunity to lose it through bad play. But I'm saying right now, not only is he won the quarterback job, he'll be the starting quarterback, but he deserves it. It kind of kills the conversation, because I do wonder, both Auburn and Alabama have got big, experienced, quality backups that transferred in from other schools, and I still can't tell you why. Why in the world Ashton Daniels, who was a starter at Stanford, is coming to Auburn as a backup? I don't know. Knowing that, man, there's a guy that's the anointed one. Same thing with Austin Mack at Alabama. I know that, he transferred in from Washington, but surely his opportunity to actually play was going to be at least as good in Washington, probably a ton better at a couple of these other schools. So if either of these guys falter, they got options, but you got to give those guys, you got to give Ty Simpson and you got to give Jackson Arnold, you got to give them the opening shot. But I get John's right about this. You got to keep everybody happy. But in the quarterback, the players know. In the quarterback room, they're looking at film, around the around the banquet table looking up at there, and they're seeing film from the Florida State loss. I'm just saying, film from the Florida State loss. And Coach Grubb is saying, see, Ty, on that interception, you needed to look off that defensive back, and everybody's looking at that film, and it's over and over. Now, on this interception, Ty, that wasn't your fault. It was a tip ball, but you could have thrown it in rhythm a little bit better. He had to reach behind him or whatever. And the players are looking at each other, and even the starter, and he's going, Jackson Arnold, golly, you shouldn't have fumbled that ball. You didn't hold it tight. What were you doing on that RPO, giving it to the running back? You should have taken it yourself. And every quarterback's in there looking at the film, and every quarterback saying, I could do better than that.
Well, unfortunately, Barry, that wasn't me because film study was in a dark classroom. I was in the back of it with my head propped up against the little tray that the erasers would sit in.
Yeah.
And then one of the erasers would come my way and I'd get hit with it because I was asleep.
Yeah. And sometimes Turk on a keeper, the projector would go to the opposite side of the field and he'd get shoved out of bounds over there near the cheerleaders. And he'd just, hey, is that girl in high school? Whoa. That type of a thing. That's when John was looking at film.
Yeah. So I see that. I get it. I don't see a Blake Barnett scenario where Simpson goes in for the first 3 or 4 series and then Keelan Russell comes in and saves the day and ends up, being a Heisman finalist at the end of the year. I don't see that playing out. But I just wonder, is this settled? And I think we'll know better. I don't know. Well, I guess they saw some of it during scrimmages in the spring. I don't know what the scrimmages in preseason camp are going to be any different that would maybe change their mind or plant doubt that, maybe we don't have the starter named yet. I just wonder about that because here again, there's not a lot of sample size on Ty Simpson. And certainly there's not on these other guys either. But what I've seen of him in mop-up duty hadn't been overly spectacular.
This is a guy who has spent time watching Bryce and watching those guys. And this guy, last year, I don't think they're asking for spectacular because Jalen Milroe did some spectacular good things. And he did some spectacular bad things. So I mean, if he can just get the ball where it needs to be, when it needs to be there, timing's important. If he can just make the right read, and if there's nothing there, throw the ball away. I don't think they were asking spectacular from anybody. I don't think they were asking for spectacular from Jalen Milroe last year. Sometimes he tried to make something spectacular when there was nothing there, and it ended up hurting his team. So if he just tends to his knitting, if he just pays attention, if he just does, the football play in the context of the offense, I think they're going to love him. His numbers may not be spectacular, but they'll win games.
Game manager, which quarterbacks hate that.
They do.
Label, but if he's a game manager and doesn't turn the ball over, I get it. Now, I will say this about Jackson Arnold at Auburn. He caught a lot of crud last year, and a lot of it, from what I'm told, is because his offensive line was in shambles, his wide receiving core was in the emergency room, just didn't have anybody around him.
Right.
Well, it didn't seem to matter when they hosted Alabama in Norman, because this guy was running all over the place, and he was moving his team up and down the field. That's the memory I have of Jackson Arnold. I don't have that type of memory with Ty Simpson. He played against South Alabama, got sacked, maybe hit a tight end on an out route or something, but it's very vague. But I can certainly remember what Jackson Arnold did in that one particular game, and maybe that's not a big enough sample size either. What about those other games? Not so good. But I know against that one, he looked like a guy that was a 5-star coming out of high school.
Yeah. It was against South Florida. John Dent remembers it as a more positive thinker, which is what John Dent's famous for being. I like to think of Ty Simpson's 20-yard pass to the tight end. Was it to Dupre? I think it was. South Florida,
Yeah.
big growth moment for him. There were others, but that play kind of stands out. You know why? I mean, it wasn't it was an accurate throw. It was a throw in rhythm. It got there when it needed to get there, but it wasn't, 70 yards downfield in a tight spiral, which we saw from Milroe sometimes.
Yeah.
It was the play to be made on the field that presented itself at the time. Again, make the football play. Don't run around back behind the line of scrimmage 4 or 5 times, sideline to sideline, and then throw a wounded duck into the middle of the field, which we've seen before. Same thing with Jackson Arnold. Jackson against Alabama, one of the keys was he didn't throw it to those third-team wide receivers. He ran for about $150 against Alabama, and they couldn't do a thing about it. So,
All right, so answer me this. And I'm just asking questions here, folks.
sure.
But Alabama was 9-4 last year. Their last game was embarrassing against Michigan in a bowl game, which I couldn't even tell you what bowl game it was. I guess it was in Florida somewhere. They get embarrassed twice on the road as a double-digit favorite. So what has changed in 9 months where the college football world's thinking, wow, this is a national championship caliber team. This team's got a shot definitely to be in Atlanta to play for the SEC championship. When you talk about the teams that could win the title, they're one of the 3 or 4 that are mentioned. Why? What's changed? When you got so many other teams in this league with veteran, experienced quarterbacks coming back to lead their program, you got a lot of teams in this league that they've recruited well and have depth. Schedule might play out a little easier for them. Hate to use the word easy, but you know what I mean. It is. What's changed in 9 months?
2 of their losses were by 1 score. The Vanderbilt loss and the
Well, okay. How many points
the Tennessee loss.
How many points did Vanderbilt score in that? What'd you call it? 1 score defeat?
1 score. 40. But even then, I heard it, you heard it, everybody heard it. Well, if he hadn't have thrown the pick 6, we would have still won the game. You're talking about Vanderbilt. If that's if you got to go ifs and nuts and ifs and buts against Vanderbilt, that tells you something.
What was the final score? Was 40 to what?
35.
40 to 35, a 5-point loss. 40 to 35, 70 points, 75 points scored in that game. Would it have been better if Vandy won 10-7? Would that have made it any better?
Probably would have.
I mean,
because you're giving up 40 points to Vanderbilt and that stocky little option quarterback, you could not stop him. Is it part of Alabama's tradition that they cannot stop the RPO?
They cannot.
They couldn't do it against Jackson Arnold. They couldn't do it against Diego Pavia. And neither one of those guys are going to be first-round draft picks in the NFL draft next year.
They can't stop the RPO. But, Barry, if Alabama had lost 10-7, then everybody would have been screaming, what's up with that offense? They can't score. They're terrible. Defense is great, but they can't score. They're terrible. So, I don't know, 10-7, 40 to 35. But you mentioned RPO. I don't know how tight things are in Tallahassee and if they're in completely incognito stealth mode. But, they don't have anything to lose. Malzahn, really emphasizes the RPO game. They get it going. They bust it out in Tallahassee at the end of next month. Bama's defense is looking around like, well, what's going on now? I mean, Malzahn's kind of sneaky. He's tricky. Yeah. You got to watch that guy.
Yeah, kind of sneaky. Now, I guarantee you, when Alabama lost to a Malzahn team, it wasn't like, well, we played them close. It was like, oh, yeah, high school offense. Well,
gimmick plays.
Now, like 60% of college football is running that offense. He got lucky, I mean, he had the play of the century that saved his behind against us, tightrope down the sidelines or,
the only gimmicky game that comes to mind, and I don't know if the game was at Jordan Hare.
Yeah.
I don't know, it wasn't 09, but Chiswick's the coach, and they run like a Statue of Liberty play and then like a double reverse and running all this kind of crap. And I'm thinking, what is going on out here?
Yeah. Well, a little bit later on, we may go to this. This is right up John's alley. If you want to check it out, Brad Crawford writes for CBSSports.com, college football writer. He has something that came out yesterday morning. College football uniform updates for 2025.
Oh, beautiful.
And he goes over every one of them. Everyone from Iowa State to Charlotte to Tulane to New Mexico State. There is one SEC team in state that he mentions with glowing praise about their uniform changes, and there are some. But yet again, for the 105th straight year, CBSSports.com neglects to note uniform changes at the other SEC school in the state of Alabama.
I think I know where this is heading, but I'm going to wait till we get back.
Right up John's alley, uniforms.
Is there an article about future schedules as well?
There probably is someone somewhere. It's about 24 minutes left in our first live hour. John Longshore, Barry McKnight is Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Now, through July 31st, take advantage of the quadruple zero event at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. 0% APR for up to 48 months. 0 down payment. 0 payments for 90 days and 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. The quadruple zero event offer is available on select 24 and 25 model F-150s, Explorers, Expeditions, Broncos, Mustangs, and Escapes. Stop by Stivers Ford at 4000 Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery for more information. Stivers Ford, where price sells cars and trucks.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, about 22 minutes until the top of the hour. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, will join us at the top of hour number 2. Of course, played in the NFL, played for Vanderbilt in the SEC. He knows a little bit about preseason camp. We'll talk a little bit about that. Josh Harris, the money line magician. I wonder what his odds are on Ty Simpson being the starter against Florida State.
He's bound to be all in. All in.
Probably so.
I wonder what they're probably better than the odds are for the Braves. Ooh. Can you just tell? I mean, if you're not religious, can you just tell the baseball gods, okay, you've made your point. Stop piling on. Braves lose again yesterday. Montgomery's team. Braves lose again yesterday. It was 9-6 at Kansas City.
Yeah.
The Braves are back to 16 games under 500, tying them for their worst record of the year so far. They were 16 games under 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But also, that's not enough. The baseball gods say, no, we're gonna humiliating kick to the crotch here, to quote Sting.
Yep.
Ronald Acuna had to leave the game with a hamstring stretch, something like that. Is that what the deal was with him? Maybe that was the other guy. Who else left? Something like that. But anyway, Acuna left the game. And was definitely a little bit ticked off about it.
Yeah.
In the 6th inning, had a hard time getting over to field a fly ball. No, it's not his hamstring. It was his Achilles.
Ooh, yeah.
Achilles tightness, which you cannot fool
That's
around
tough.
with. Yep,
No.
Daniel, you're right.
Yeah.
So, yep, he's on the injured list. Braves are 16
to hear
games
that,
under
Floyd.
500. Our pets' heads are falling off. It's
Well, Barry, as you misspoke. Actually, Montgomery's team is only 8.5 back in the American League Eastern Division. They did lose last night. We're talking, of course, about the Tampa Bay Rays, who, quite frankly, have not gotten enough love from this program this summer. And so we need to change that. Rays lose 7-5 last night at New York. But, we got to give the Rays a little more love. Particularly, I think the Biscuits are like a 12-game homestand here in Montgomery. So, that farm system of the Tampa Bay Rays. And there again, this misnomer, ladies and gentlemen, that Montgomery is a Braves town.
It is. There's nobody out there.
I think that started because somebody in radio land said, you know what? I think we need to carry the Atlanta Braves. I mean, instead of carrying some, test pattern or, some stop and shop trade show, something, call in, sell it on the air type deal. Let's
the swap shop. Yeah.
Swap shop. Yeah, let's just put the Braves on. It ain't going to cost us nothing. And certainly ain't nobody's going to buy it. So why not? So they did that. So I guess a couple of people heard about it. Oh, wow, look, the Braves are on radio. Until some
Braves
smart guy said, why are we carrying the Braves? And I think that's where it started. I really do. And I don't know. Some people out there still hold on to them, but I'm not feeling the Braves loves anymore around here.
Well, there doesn't need to be any these days. They have an afternoon game today.
Oh, good.
If you care to check it out. Braves are taking on Kansas City again this afternoon. It's at 1:10 first pitch from Kansas City. As a matter of fact, there are, 7 games that begin at or before the end of lunchtime.
Oh, getaway
There's an
day.
11:30 game between Baltimore and Toronto. I'm not sure which one of these might be the Phantom's daily dog, but yeah, there's virtually everybody plays, and a lot of them play early here.
Well, Barry, I'm looking at that right now. Maybe I should change my pick today because I will give you a hint. The game I'm looking at has the lowest ticket price available for any game today.
Well, John's got some sort of app where he can go to ticket price,
Barry,
which is usually when he says that, it's usually the Marlins, but the Marlins are on the road.
Yeah. How about this? Baltimore won both games in their doubleheader yesterday. We talked about the doubleheader. Doubleheader, I think you called it.
Yeah, it was evidently they got rained out or something like that. And John Dent makes a good point. Every one of these games, if you were on MLB TV, I mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah.
Every game yesterday was free on MLB TV. And John's right. Every game today in Major League Baseball is free on MLB TV, which is great. You want to publicize the game. But for all of you subscribers out there, you're going, man, I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
Are you giving it away for free?
Well, I was about to ask you.
I don't get it.
Is MLB a pay-for channel?
Oh, yeah, MLB.no. The MLB channel is, you have to pay for it.
Okay.
MLB TV, you have to subscribe to it, but it's not just
the reason
it's not just the games. They got other stuff too.
Before I cut the cord from cable, and one of the things that bugged me, I had a lot of crap channels that I think I don't need this channel. What am I? Why am I paying for it? And B, why is it cluttering up the channels that I want to watch? Because
imagine him. He gets ticked off, and it wears down his battery if he's having to go down, HGTV, down, home and shopping, down. I mean, those are unnecessary clicks in his life. I remember way back when I was a kid, there was a professional tennis player, left-handed Argentinian named Guillermo Villas. He was kind of he looked a lot like Bjorn Borg, except he's left-handed. And I remember, because they used to show it all the time, his right arm was just like a regular right arm, but his left arm looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh.
He had a super muscular left arm because that's where he hit all the time.
Yeah.
That's like John's thumb.
Yeah.
John's rest of his fingers are okay, but man, his thumb, it looks like a bodybuilder's thumb because he's having to click past HGTV, ESPN Plus, exit, click, enter, password, PHANT, and all that kind of stuff.
Drives me insane.
I mean, he got sick and tired of having to. And I know it's tragic of having to click 2 or 3 more times.
I'm a constant channel surfer. I don't stay on one channel long.
Yeah.
Unless it's, I don't know, Fox News, Golf Channel, or.
But even then on Fox News, you're clicking off during the commercial and, you're seeing what's going on.
I'll switch it over to Cow Herd or something.
Yeah.
But so I cut the cord, which I got rid of all those crap channels I didn't want anyway. And then I went to YouTube TV, but I thought, you know what? I used to get Major League Baseball Network. Not that I was watching a lot of it, but I knew I had it if I needed it. They had something called the Whip Around or something. We could get like a piece of every game in 30 seconds. It was great. I thought, man, if only baseball lasted 30 seconds, I might enjoy it more. But I don't have MLB Network anymore. Like ACC Network, which I never watched. I don't think I've got that. Maybe I got to pay for it.
I bet you got ACC Net. If you've got SEC Network,
I do have.
Am
SEC
I right, everybody?
Network.
I don't get involved in all of that. I've told John before. When John says, some games are on ABC or CBS and some games are relegated to the deuce. I mean, I don't care. I mean, hey, there's this game I want to watch. What channel is it on? Okay, there it is. And I'm not thinking, the absolute embarrassment of having to be on ESPNU. I mean, this is the game,
Yeah.
John would say, I remember this game way back in 1995. It was on ABC, and I'm thinking,
oh yeah,
how do you even know that? I mean, all I know is that it was on, and I'm in the business. It was on. Was it on Fox? Was it on CBS? Was it on ABC? Was it on ESPN Deporte? I don't know. That's the channel that the game was on. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you. Okay, maybe I've kind of, I don't know, needled a little bit with, one team plays on a national over-the-air traditional network, not some pop-up cable channel. Okay, maybe I should not have phrased it in that way, which basically is what it is, but could have smoothed it over a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. But he is not above mentioning cable channels that aren't sports channels, that have things like pop-up video.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's a certain show on there that has outdrawn an Auburn, Florida football game, he'll definitely bring up VH1 in Flavor of Love, if it suits the point that he's trying to make.
It fits your narrative, I think, is
fits the narrative.
What we call it. But
that's exactly
I will say this, Barry, my TV viewing variety, maybe it's just I'm getting older.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I think I was scanning more. I had more of a variety. I had more on my plate from a viewer. Now it's limited. I only watch, 4 or 5 networks.
See, that's a shame because now you can watch anything, anytime, ever, all the time. I can go right now on my TV back here in my studio, and I can find the 1971 Oklahoma-Nebraska game, and I can watch it in its entirety. You just have to look around a little bit, know all that kind of stuff. With all of these thousands of channels you now get if you got a smart TV, John's still watching 4 or 5.
Pretty much. I hate to admit it. I mean, should I broaden my horizons a little bit?
To be honest, we've got, we've had smart TV for a long time. We haven't had cable in a while, but we tend to watch the same things. It's very rare that we watch live TV. We've got Hulu.
Yeah.
It's very rare that we watch live TV unless it's one of 2 things. College football, pro football, well, basically sports, college basketball, college baseball. I mean, it's basically sports. I'm not watching much live everywhere. I'm watching PBS. We're watching
So if you're
what's the one? Deacon, tell me.
if you're
Pluto
watching a
TV.
series, you're watching something like on Netflix or Paramount Plus or something.
Yeah,
You watch it when
Netflix
you
and
want to
Prime.
watch. Yeah. I mean, I'll do that too. I mean, I can't tell you a sitcom or a drama on one of the 3 traditional networks that I've watched or have watched. I can't tell you the last one that Miami Vice. That was 40 years ago. I mean, I cannot think of a series that I went, oh man, I got to watch this like we did back in the day. NBC, CBS, and ABC. I don't know what their programming looks like during prime time, during the weekdays. Couldn't tell you, have no clue what they do.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Dad, Wonder Woman's on again. I'm on it, son.
yeah. I mean, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley back in those days.
That's right.
But I don't do that anymore. And, I will say I do watch a lot of BBC America because they have the best Law and Order reruns on.
Yeah. So I
do
get
watch
that.
them.
I mean, things change out there. But as far as, as far as what's on television, John from Wetumpka says, we've got Major League TV. It's great. Yes, we pay for it. If you miss the game, you get a recap. Everything's on television now. And still, there are things that you and I are not interested in. I'm not going to watch the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm not going to watch HGTV. I'm just not. Cooking shows maybe every once in a while.
No, I
just
do
like John, there is no way in the world he is watching an Atlanta Braves recap.
No way. I'm not even watching it live. What are you talking about?
John used to complain to his cable company, hey, manager, it's Longshore again. He sees that it's 9 o'clock in the morning and there's a replay of the entire Braves game on. I know he says he's not watching it, but it clutters up his TV. Why in the world are we doing that? Can you deal with him?
Is there a delete function that I can delete this? Earlier in the day, Barry, John, he's kind of coy. I get him. He's throwing a little jab about some students that come over and visit from overseas, some exchange students, and he claimed in a chat earlier today that these students know about the Yankees and the Dodgers, but they know nothing about the Alabama football program. Well,
world perception,
he calls it. Nick Saban was in Italy 2 summers ago, and people certainly knew who he was.
John was in like Turks and Caicos or something, and he heard a War Eagle, and John's like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
from
I thoroughly believe you out there. They know Yankees, Dodgers.
Yeah.
But
from a true life experience, John from Wetumpka.
Yeah.
On our River Region Straw VIP chat line, I'm told that my friend has been to Europe 3 times in the last 3 years. London, Paris, Ireland, Scotland, Rome, Venice, Florence.
Music. Mm-hmm.
He's gotten Roll Tides everywhere he's been.
Well, that's because he's wearing the Crimson A on his hat. He's wearing the Red Elephant Club logo on his shirt, and he's probably got a Alabama backpack or something.
I could see some Euro soccer jersey and not know who in the world it is.
That is
you see him and I'm thinking, well, who is that? But if you have the script A and you're walking the streets of Venice and somebody gives you a Roll Tide. But to be fair,
probably more likely you got the script A somewhere and they say, hey, go Braves. I hope Acuna's okay. No, it's not that A.
Not the way they're playing. But I did get a War Eagle in Tokyo, Japan many years ago, which absolutely blew my mind, I thought. And it wasn't in Japanese. It was actually in English. Guy said War Eagle. I went, really?
Let's take a break. Let's keep it here. What do you say we take a break right at the top of the hour and then get ready for CJ?
I got a little surprise that I'm going to let out of the bag before we do check in with CJ. We've talked a lot about college football. Everybody's excited. Can't wait for the start. Preseason camps begin today. How about a little NFL, the National Football League?
All right.
Of course, Training camps are underway. Hall of Fame games fast approaching.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah, about that. See, we're getting real close to the NFL start. On Friday, and I'm still doing my research, Barry. On Friday, because I'm really looking forward to getting your response on this.
Yeah.
I will release my top 10. You don't hear that much in the NFL. My top 10 NFL teams heading into the 2025 season. Who are the top 10 teams to watch? There are 32 teams. I'm giving you my top 10. Also, I'm going to give you, this should be real interesting, my top 10 NFL quarterbacks for 2025. And I will tell you, the teams and the quarterbacks don't necessarily match at all. Say if I've got this team at number 8, that doesn't mean they're quarterbacks at 8.
That means Dak Prescott is still in play because Cowboys may not be top 10, but almost without a doubt, John's got Dak Prescott in his top 10. So it works that way.
I'll go ahead and let that out of the bag. He is.
We will not hear his name?
You will not hear his name.
Okay.
Nothing's changed since whenever I made that comment 5 years ago.
I got you. Hall of Fame game is tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. It's Chargers versus the Lions.
Yep.
And then next Thursday, a week from tomorrow, you got 3 games. Next Thursday, you got, and a couple of them are going to be on the NFL Network. Colts and the Ravens, Bengals and the Eagles, Raiders and the Seahawks.
I'm going to give you another little.
Then Friday, a week from Friday, there's more. They're getting into it big time.
Love it. But I'm going to give you another little nugget, a little appetizer, Barry. The Chargers and the Lions, you said they're tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, Canton, Ohio.
I'm very impressed with both those teams. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, yes, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you on that. Let's take a break. When we come back, C.J. Duncan with his regularly scheduled Wednesday morning of knowledge. It's coming up. Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Okay, back at it again, close to the top of the hour. Always a treat on Wednesdays to bring in our next guest, C.J. Duncan, Yellowhammer News. Of course, played in the NFL, played in the SEC for the Vanderbilt Commodores, and he knows what this time of year is all about. Preseason camps getting underway. How you doing, C.J.?
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing really well. I had somebody tell me yesterday, somebody who's in our business, a national guy, and he said, look, right now it's 98 degrees. There's no wind at all. It's going to be 100 degrees. He said, please don't call it fall camp because it don't feel one bit like fall, CJ. This is when you start really getting tested, right?
Absolutely. You've got the elements, of course, but then, the urgency picks up with the coaches. You're getting closer and closer to that first game. So you only have a few opportunities to really prove yourself and prove why you deserve to be on the field instead of the other guy, right, who's also on scholarship or who's also getting paid. So the opportunities are limited, and so is the time.
I wonder. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry.
No.
You've been involved in both, a lot of both. I know there are differences, but go over a couple of the big differences between college football preseason camp and the NFL preseason camp.
Well, in my personal opinion, I thought that college camp was a little bit more intense than NFL, and that may be different, based on the coach that you have as well. But there was a lot more hitting in college than there was in NFL. You're kind of protecting assets once you get to the NFL. They're basically just you're of course going full speed, and there's opportunities to thud, and especially if you're a special teams guy, those become brawls at times, that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, they just want to give you as much information as possible so you can go and produce when it's time during a preseason game and hopefully make a team. At the college level, a lot of it is toughness. A lot of it is, how are we going to make it through the fourth quarter and sustain, our execution throughout a game and throughout a season, things of that nature. But, as the game has evolved, the college level has started to become more and more like the NFL level, just because teams are starting to play really good teams in the first game. Usually, back in the day, you'd play someone who is not necessarily on your level, maybe a conference or two below. But now, I'm sure Kirby and the folks over at Texas as well, they're probably pulling off of their guys a little bit because they understand they need all those guys for game one. Texas is playing Ohio State, I believe, and Alabama's playing Florida State. Georgia may have a big game as well. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think they play Marshall.
Okay, so Georgia's at Kirby and them, they're out of it. But, some of these other games, you'll go hard for a week and a half or two, but you've got to get ready for your first game.
Yeah, LSU Clemson's one of those as well. That's a great opening week matchup game as well. That just led me to another question. I'm going to bring that later back in a moment. We started out the show today, CJ, talking about Alabama starting camp this morning in Tuscaloosa. Ty Simpson, the coaches said that if they played today, he'd be the starter. Is there going to be a competition? And the reason I asked this, CJ, is have we really seen enough of Ty Simpson? Is the sample size big enough to say, oh, yeah, he's going to be the starter? I mean, I know he's bided his time. He's waited it out, but he's not a DeBoer guy. He didn't recruit this guy. And I just wonder, I mean, is the competition closed? I mean, what do you think? You've been through these fall camps. I mean, can you make a change or a decision in a 3-week period?
Well, you know what?
At a position like that?
Yeah, I think that's going to be really tough. And just as Ty Simpson doesn't have a whole lot of experience, neither are the guys he's competing against, right? So that kind of also puts him at the front of the leaderboard, and really how he's probably conducted himself this summer and the spring as a leader of the locker room, and how the guys are rallying behind him, it probably is going to play a big role too. You don't want to shake up the locker room this late in the year, especially when you're on the road game one. So it would be he would have to do something pretty bad to lose his spot there. If he's just consistent and continues to be a leader, he will be okay. And I'm sure Coach DeBoer is telling him, hey, don't try to go win us a game. That's not what we need you to do. We need you to distribute this ball and make sure that we execute at a high level. If you execute at a high level and kind of control the controllables, you're just a coach on the field. Usually Alabama has a good chance of winning.
Are the dynamics the same in the quarterback room at Auburn? Do you see that kind of playing out the same way, Jackson Arnold and Ashton Daniels and the freshman Deuce Knight?
Yeah, I feel like it is Arnold's to have but at the end of the day, these are two universities that expect to win and want to win at a high level. And so although you have the keys now doesn't mean you'll have the keys, by week 4 or 5 or whatever it is. You still have to go out there and produce. But to kind of shake up a locker room this late in the game, it's not what it used to be. I know I've been on a team where with the quarterback competition has kind of gone into the first week or so of camp, and then it kind of gets pushed over to one guy. But I mean, it would be hard to see that in today's football.
Well, like at Vanderbilt, they've got a returning starter coming back in Diego Pavia. So there's a lot of, they're solid. They're confident. They know what's going in.
Mhm.
When you were at Vanderbilt, did you have a situation where the starting quarterback was returning from one year to the next?
Yeah, so Cal Shermer was our guy that had become a consistent starter and a very good SEC football player.
Mhm.
I'm still shocked to this day he didn't get an opportunity in the NFL, but he was a guy that we knew was our guy. He was the leader of that ship, and we trusted him. He played really good football, and that's when we started to kind of gain confidence, even as a receiving core. We knew the ability we had, but when we knew we were going out there with Cal, we walked with a little bit more swagger for sure.
And that's a big part of it. You mentioned when we knew he was our guy, all the practices, all the reps and stuff like that, the players know who the best players are. And if it's not reflected in the starting lineup, that doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense. So much of this stuff is not, well, he's sat for 2 years and he's paid his dues. I remember, John, whenever people kept talking about Tua, man, this kid's coming, Jalen better get ready and all that. It wasn't because of, what it said in Phil Steele magazine or what it said in 24/7. It's because they see this kind of stuff on the practice field over and over again. That's a thing as well, a really important thing. You mentioned that about Kyle Shermer. Everybody kind of knew that he was the guy.
Mhm.
And if they gave the job to somebody else for whatever other reason, that might have been a little bit of dissension, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's hard to lie to a locker room. As they say, the honest guy doesn't lie, and when you were practicing with these guys 24/7, and you can kind of see their grit, their toughness, and also their work ethic. Like, are they staying after practice trying to get that chemistry down with the receivers, or are they talking with the offensive line? How's the offensive line reacting to who's in the game? That'll tell you a lot as well, right? Because they want a quarterback that is running the show, but also getting that ball off quick, so no sacks are
Right.
on their stat line as well. So, when you have that guy, it does make a huge difference. You run your route a little harder. You're more okay with going across the middle, and then in late game situations, instead of having just a big anxiety ball kind of thing, you're pretty comfortable and calm knowing that your guy's gonna make the right decisions to win this game.
Yeah. He's going to get it to me in rhythm where I can
Hmm.
catch it, where I'm not going to
He's
have
not
to
gonna
get
blow
hung
me
out to
up.
dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Touching on the NFL, CJ, I've always thought the preseason was way too long. Don't need it. I know these guys are getting paid, so I guess I got to give them something to do. But when veteran players are going through the preseason again, I mean, I think about a guy like Tom Brady. I mean, obviously he had to get rhythm with his receivers and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But, whether you're a longtime quarterback, running back, wide receiver, even lineman, I mean, you pretty much know what your assignments are. I guess you're kind of really studying your opponents more than yourself. And in saying all that, you would think they'd get kind of bored during preseason just waiting for the regular season to start.
Yeah, especially the vets. They
Yeah.
are their heads are so far down the road in a sense, like their goals for this year are much bigger than the preseason, and so that also has to do with their body and when they start getting in shape and how to continue to basically stay on routine, get on routine, and stay on that routine so they can make it through such a long season. The preseason, I wish it was more about us kind of guys, maybe undrafted or just rookies in general, just giving us a lot of tape so we can put our talents on display. But you do have some folks who believe in the preseason because you have teams like the Bengals who have started off slow the last 4 or 5 years, where
Yeah.
they're 0-2 or 1-4 or whatever the record may be. And they're like, well, maybe we should play a little bit more preseason so we can get those losses out of the way and win when it starts to count. So there's different philosophies for it. I wish the young guys got, even more opportunities. And I'm sure the vets wouldn't mind that either, just cheering from the sideline. So,
CJ, I got one more, and it's topical. Deion Sanders was always perceived, and he wanted it to be received when he was a player. A lot of flash, a lot of style, with the sunglasses and with the strutting down the sidelines and all. He could back it up and all that, but it seemed as though style was just as important to him as substance. Monday, he had the press conference at Colorado where it was announced that he had bladder cancer, had his bladder removed, and he told everybody, look, be prepared. There's going to have to be a portalette on the sidelines and stuff. And he seemed so remarkably upbeat about a guy who has been through some stuff that obviously there's more to him than just style. There's some substance there. Have you always been a Deion guy, CJ?
yeah, well, and one thing I've always told people is like, you got to get past that initial wall, right, of flash. And there's a man in there who to me is very similar to Nick Saban in a lot of ways, and how he coaches and how he tries to raise young men and how he disciplines his players and how he sees football, the lens that he sees football from. It's a very traditional way. And he's a man of God, and we worship a great God. And so I think a lot of his confidence comes from that, right? And so when God does perform another miracle on him, that's why you see him so upbeat. And I just see him as a guy. He said, hey, I didn't even tell my boys that I had cancer. They thought I had something to do with my foot. And that's just another example of how he just picks up the sword, picks up the cross every day for the benefit of others, right? He's willing to kind of take those shots in the back or deal with pain in order for people around him to be better. And so he's great. And I like him a lot.
He understands mentorship a lot better than people have given him
Yeah.
credit for in the past.
Yeah. No,
I
think
think
there's a
his
lot
press
there.
conference earlier this week, I think it opened a lot of eyes. People, they see the flash, they see the incredible athleticism, but they've never really seen that side of Deion. And I think that really opened up a lot of people's eyes, and might have been maybe one of the strongest things he's ever done in his athletic career is being as open and as honest and as forthright as he was earlier this week.
Absolutely. I agree. And his life was on the line, and he continued to, praise God in the process and continue to trust. And to me, that is setting the example for the kids around him. And that's why he's always wanted to be that guy, the mentor, the coach, the dad, the uncle, or whatever it may be. There's a reason why he coached a little league team first. He didn't go straight to the NFL or straight to college. He was coaching little league kids, and then he went to high school. He didn't do this to make money. He did this because he feels called to be a man that folks can look up to. And so of course, he's got a couple chains to go with it, but there's a lot more to Deion than just the chains and the glasses.
That's well presented. CJ Duncan, always good to visit with you on Wednesday. We do appreciate the time. We know how busy you are.
I got to ask one question.
Right, here we go.
It's gnawing me.
Oh, boy.
So since we brought Deion up, I just got to ask you, CJ. Me personally, the greatest two-sport star in our era. Played football, played offense, defense, special teams, played Major League Baseball, led the league in triples, played on a World Series team, played on a Super Bowl team. I could go on and on and on.
And
some people out there say there's somebody else around that was a better two-sport athlete. What do you say?
I think those people are correct. If you ask Dion, he'll tell you the same thing. Bo Jackson's the guy. He's
Oh, no.
Bo Jackson is the guy. He's always been the guy. And also what a wonderful man he is as well. I had the opportunity of visiting with him a couple months ago. But yeah, no, Dion said he looked up to Bo Jackson. Now he's a guy who's made a Pro Bowl and an All-Star game. I don't know that Dion made an All-Star game. So that shows you how good Bo Jackson was. He was elite at both sports. I just hate the injuries and the hip happened to him.
Yep. Yeah,
I did
John,
see
I'm out. I'm done with the program. You're on your own from here on out.
CJ, I've been trying to sell this for 25 years. Nobody's biting. Nobody's biting.
I will say this:
Bo
humility
knows.
probably prevents him, but we know people in Montgomery who think the same thing about CJ Duncan. Back in the day.
Yeah, true. Good point. I did see a
Maybe
highlight.
a three
You
sport.
guys might have seen it. Auburn's playing Florida State. I think it was a regular season game because the game was in the daytime. And Dion's talking about having to go tackle Bo. And I think Bo stiff-armed him, something like that, just put him on the ground. And when I saw that, I went, ooh, wow, I've never seen that before. That doesn't strengthen my case very much.
Oh man, I tell you what, and when you actually see Bo in person, you think to yourself, there's no way a guy like this size was moving that fast. It's still remarkable to this day because he still has good stature now. And you're like, this guy ran a 4.1. I wouldn't want to get in front of him either. I tell you that.
Yeah. We're glad you're in front of us, CJ. Always great to get your insight into everything. Thanks so much for the time.
Always a pleasure. See you guys next week.
Look forward to it. CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News. Great stuff. I guess I'm the lone wolf. And I love me some Bo Jackson. Don't get me wrong.
You. Yeah.
Man, I was trying to give Dion a little love, but I will. But I saw that clip recently, Barry. I'd never seen it before. Because I'm thinking Auburn played Florida State in a Sugar Bowl game. I just don't remember.
They did. I was at that one. Yeah.
But this game was obvious, and I want to say it was at Auburn. Because Auburn was wearing Navy jerseys, and I'm thinking, when was this game? And Bo breaks off a run, and he's Dion's chasing him down. He stiff arms, and I went, ooh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yikes.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Anyway,
nothing to see here.
John's decades-long observation takes a major hit today. So,
kidding.
Let's see. When would that have been? 1983, they played in Auburn.
Okay.
And Auburn won it 27-24. They played in 84 in Tallahassee. They played in 85 in Auburn. I was actually at that game at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I wasn't covering that game for some reason. I was in the stands, and Auburn won it 59-27.
So is it?
So it could have been one of two games. Auburn and Florida State played twice in the early to mid 80s at Jordan-Hare Stadium. They also played once in Tallahassee. They had a 2-for-1. So that's plausible. That likely could have happened.
I don't know if it was the 83 or 85 game. Yeah. When did they play in the Sugar Bowl?
Oh, that was in January 1989, at the end of the 88 season. Again, I was there. I said before, famously, 15 yards away from Diedrich Dodge when he blatantly interfered with Freddie Wagan on the side of the end zone, and Florida State escaped with a 13-7 win.
That's Russell's favorite Auburn player, Freddie Wagan.
Out of many, for sure.
So wait a minute. So was Dion in that 89 game?
I think he was, because everybody said it was Dion that interfered with Freddie Wagan, and it wasn't Dion. It was Diedrich Dodge.
So if he was in the 89 game, then in the game at Auburn, it would have to been 85. He would have been a freshman.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. We'll have to defer to research.
I do know Dion and Bo were on the same field. It was a day game. Auburn had on the Navy jerseys. Florida State had on the white, and Dion's trying to chase Bo down, and he gets stiff-armed.
Yeah, Daniel said it was 85. Dion ate dirt on that play.
I mean, okay, come on. Is that fair look, a wet behind the ears freshman going up against a veteran who's about to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, come on. That one play, don't let that be the measuring stick of who the greatest two-sport athlete is of our time.
Well, head-to-head doesn't count. Come on. Face-to-face, that's overrated. Well, coming up, something not overrated, the Phantom's daily dog. Obviously, the Phantom is highly confident, coming in on a roll, heading into this next
Yeah, we're
segment.
on a roll, all right.
Coming up later on, probably about 10 minutes or so, Josh Harris, our Moneyline magician, Longshore and McKnight, in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs. Okay, welcome back in. Glad you are with us. Wait a minute, we already got the wheel going? Oh, wait a minute, this is the play. Gern's
Here we go. 85.
There's Dion, freshman, wet behind the ears.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't like he stapled him to the ground with a stiff arm. I'm doing the research on that. It was 1985. Dion was a freshman. He might have needed, well, no, I'm not even going to say that about needing depends at that point too. But in that game, Bo ran for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns. In that 1985 game, Auburn returned 2 interceptions for scores. That was the 59-27 game.
What was in that 85 game?
Huh?
What was the score in that 85 game?
59-27, and Bo ran for 176 yards, 30 carries in that game. They entered the they lost at Tennessee. That was the one where Bo got hurt.
Yeah.
And then 2 games later, they played Florida State back at home.
So obviously, Barry, that was a young, rebuilding Florida State program with a very young, wet behind the ears Deion Sanders, who grew into a great player, as we all know. Now, we don't get on Bo for running the wrong way. We don't harp on that. Similar.
That was when he was a freshman.
So we don't harp on that, like we should not harp on a play where can you play that again, Gern? It looked like Dion might have tripped a little bit right before he attempted.
Oh my gosh!
So,
gosh! The rationalizations are a little bit nauseating.
I mean, John from Wetumpka calling me a doofus. I mean, come on.
The 59 points was the most ever allowed by Florida State. to that point. Bo ran for 176. If he had ran for 9 more yards, he would be only the second player in college football history to rush for 1,000 yards in the first 5 games of the season. By the way, this Florida State team that was young and kind of building, they were both in the top 5 at the beginning of the year.
Well, yeah, but how many times have we seen a team? I remember a team in 2000 that started out number 3 in the country, went 3-9 that year.
And guess what? Florida State finished that year 9-3. Give you 3 guesses what Auburn's record was in 1985. That was the year Bo won the Heisman. That clip was from his Heisman Trophy year. They finished that season. They lost 3 of their last 5. They finished 8-4.
How did that happen? You got the best player in college football. You lose 4 games. Man, come on.
I'm glad John was able to get that in with CJ because I was almost about to close the segment. And John said, I got to ask you, CJ. I'm so glad he did.
You're right, Ronald. Deion was never known as a tackler, even in the NFL. He was not I used to say that about myself. I was more of a finesse player.
Yeah.
I wasn't a, smash mouth, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. I was a finesse player.
He never wore a Tommy Wilcox jersey. None of that. Also, the Deion thing, Larry Blakeney was asked about that later on. One of my dear friends, obviously, longtime coach at Troy. He was the coordinator at Auburn then. And he said, one thing we knew, even when Deion was a freshman, is you don't throw any out routes to his side of the field because he can outrun an out route. And so,
who was the quarterback of that team?
Of the Auburn team, 85?
85, number 10. I saw his jersey in the clip.
Oh, it wasn't. Therefore, it wasn't. I thought it would have been Berger, but that was not Berger's number.
It wasn't Jeff Berger. I thought it was number 10. That wasn't the
you
play.
May be right.
That wasn't the play that he had to sit out that one play, did he? Maybe.
No, because that was Reggie Slack, and that wasn't against anybody. That was
okay.
And Slack was number 17. That was the first year that they had run out of the 2-back.
Yeah.
To feature Bo. They had been the wishbone guy beforehand. Let's see. The number 10 on the football. Oh, Pat Washington. Golly, how soon we forget. Excellent, Chris.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Chris, good. Was that Chris the Bammer coming up with that?
That was Chris the Bammer.
Man, he knows his Auburn.
Our buddy Ronald says it was Reggie Slack. Reggie's a good guess. Reggie came later.
That was Bo's Heisman.
Tommy E.G.
Awesome. I still, Barry, I would have loved to have known back, recruiting was different back then, but just the recruitment of Bo Jackson.
And was it really? Yeah. Okay.
And what those coaches thought about me, behind the scenes, like, man, this guy, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I can't believe every school in the country is not flocking here to find this guy.
Well, this is what Blakeney said about that as well. He said Bo played in a 3-back set at McAdory, right? And he had 2 other really good backs, and Bo didn't carry. He wasn't like Herschel or somebody like that, or Derrick Henry, who got the ball 35 times a game. He'd get it 11, 12, 13 times a game running that. But as far as athleticism, I mean, everybody was like, please, Ken Donahue, tell him he won't start. Please, Ken Donahue. And because you saw him and you thought, man, at his size, and I mean, he was winning state decathlons, and he was playing baseball, and he was running track, and he was playing football, just all of it kind of as a lark. It was interesting. Well,
all right, so I've bided my time. Some people say I've wasted.
As Martina McBride said in Independence Day, today is the day of reckoning.
So we've been on a little losing streak. We're not going to hide.
Yeah.
Things have not gone well for us over the last couple of days. Last night was an exception. The Cubs at the Brewers. It was an even game, and the Brewers win it 9-3. Never in doubt. Tough loss. Brewers win it 9-3 against the Chicago Cubs last night. It's tough. Tough.
Cubs had 3 errors in that game too, by the way.
Yeah, that'll hurt you. Come on, Cubbies. Don't need those errors.
Awfully difficult for a handicapper to take 3 errors into account.
You ain't kidding.
Right.
So, Barry, tonight,
you
mentioned there's a lot of early games today. First one's at 11:35. Got a couple of noon games, some 1 o'clockers into the mid-afternoon and whatnot, but we're not touching those. Barry, we're going 8:38 tonight, Central Time. 8:38. Check that
from the
time.
City of Angels, Los
That's
Angeles,
right.
California.
Or are they playing Anaheim? Where do they play, actually?
They're in Anaheim, but yeah.
Okay. All right. But they're called the Los Angeles Angels. I remember when they were the California Angels and Rod Carew was playing for them. Shows how long I've been watching Angels baseball. Well, it really had.
Today is the day of reckoning.
It
Okay,
is.
anyway.
Yep, the Texas Rangers are the visiting team at the LA Angels tonight. The Angels are catching 115. They're plus 115 at home tonight. And they're on a little winning streak, Barry. If you haven't noticed, the California Angels or the LA Angels have won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
We're going to ride that winning streak and take them tonight as an underdog at home. We like the Angels plus 115 for the Phantoms Daily Dog. If you want to talk about the pitching matchups, go right ahead.
Nathan Eovaldi for the Rangers having a good year. He's 8-3, really good ERA, gets the start. Jose Soriano gets the start for the Angels at home. Good ERA, sub-4 ERA, but he's 7-7. They haven't given him a lot of run support. So there you have it. Our Phantoms Daily Dog is the Angels
plus 115.
Against the Texas Rangers at home.
Right.
There we go.
I see the Moneyline Magician writing that down in the box. When we get back, he will join us here on the program.
Yeah, he just crumpled it up and just said Kobe, and it's in the wastebasket. He's next. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at Riverbank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. Riverbank and Trust. Okay, welcome back in, everybody. About 26 minutes to the top of the hour. Our man Josh Harris joining us, the Moneyline Magician. He does it each and every Wednesday during this slot. Josh, good morning. How you doing today?
Morning. That was some great ads leading up for that one. You had golf.
Yeah.
You had one of the most inspirational Budweiser commercials I've ever heard.
Got that right.
You had my boy Clay Cook over at Riverbank and Trust, who I think likes Budweiser's and golf. So
hey, who doesn't really? Who doesn't? Oh, by the way, this is a true story. An University of Alabama professor, distinguished, he has just been selected for the Fulbright Award. I'm working with somebody who actually was in contention for a Half-Bright Award, but we were talking a little while ago. I'm just kidding.
Where's
John,
my rim shot?
We were talking a little while ago. John is really concerned about the quarterback race at Alabama, in that he hopes it is still a race. So let's play a little game here. Let's just say we're talking to Alabama head football coach Josh Harris, and we asked you behind the scenes over a Bud Light, just shooting the breeze. You're not on the record, and we asked you about how you're planning to approach the quarterback race heading into the Florida State game. What would the response be?
It would be who's performing right now, right? We had everybody was equal when it started, and I hope my answer is that Austin Mack or Keelan Russell's been killing it in practice, because in my mind I keep hearing Ty Simpson, which is experience. But these other guys have some athleticism to them, which is, I feel like, what you need in football right now.
I asked the question earlier. What have we seen out of Ty Simpson? And certainly we're not there at practice, so we don't see the day in and day out. But what we have seen of Ty Simpson, I haven't really seen enough that tells me, oh, wow, man, he comes in against South Florida, hits a tight end on a down and out, gets sacked 5 times. He's come in mop-up duty against Central Missouri A&T or whomever it was. So I'm thinking, have we really seen enough? Is the sample size big enough? Is it just because he's waited around and he's the next man up? I mean, DeBoer didn't recruit this guy. Alabama went through that last year with a quarterback that DeBoer didn't recruit. And he's got 2 guys on campus that he did recruit and he's familiar with. Most people just think, well, Ty Simpson's the guy. I'm kind of wondering, is he really?
That's what I'm thinking too. These 2 other guys came in, and it seems like he's starting to build more and more of his team. Especially you've got Austin Mack, which that was his man. He came to Alabama because of DeBoer. He followed him here, right? And so he did that for a reason. Like I said, I'm not in practice. I don't know. I only know what we're privy to. But just from what I'd like to see is that continued growth of his program, because that's not how he's going to win. He's not going to win on what Saban did or players that he brought in, because that seems like what he tried to do last year and it didn't work out. Now he's got the team bought in. We had 0 people transfer. The people that came in are here for him. I hope whoever he picks is great, but it feels like Austin Mack would be our, just from a standpoint of I don't know what the word is, but just camaraderie or whatever it might be. I'd like to see him in there, but I'm confident in our guy right now.
How do we feel about, we've talked about this before. Let me preface this. We've talked about this before. When you go on fan forums and stuff like that, Alabama fans, they will be kind of corrosive about some of their former players. Like, there are a lot of people out there that are thinking that Jalen Milroe maybe is not going to be, tearing up camp in the Seattle Seahawks this year. And they're glad to see that, somebody posted, well, now the Seahawks probably, now that camp's underway, are getting to see what we saw for, Bama fans either love their former quarterbacks or they can't stand them.
Right.
Same thing about some of their assistant coaches. What's the official Josh Harris stance on Kirby Smart? Respect?
There's respect. I mean, but either, other than Kirby, you're either with us or against us. You leave, you're kind of good riddance. With same with players. If you leave, good riddance, right? You know, I'm glad that Saban was in here and mentored you into being a genius. Congrats. That's great for Saban's resume, but Saban's not here anymore. So if you used to coach here and you're not here anymore, except for Wilson Love. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Hey, who doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love Wilson. Wilson can do whatever he wants. He's the man.
Caleb Downs, you are, no. Caleb,
what about Jalen Hurts? Will he be known as an Alabama quarterback?
He is. He is the one exception to the rule that you probably ever see in college sports. I mean, I've had this conversation a million times. He's an Alabama guy. He came in, he did what he needed to do. He left with grace. He still reps Alabama. I don't find many people that don't like him still. I think
his performance in that SEC championship game, I think he'll always go down in Alabama.
Yeah, but his performance in that Iron Bowl game against Auburn is what kind of lost him the job too, you know? So
nobody remembers that.
I don't
know. Yeah, what game you talking about, Barry? I don't remember.
That's what's called the Iron Bowl. Yeah.
What game was that?
I got that. That's a good point. I mean, he's got an Alabama degree, you know, he can hang it on a wall in his house.
I'm a big Jalen guy. I think he did it all right if you can possibly do it. But other than that, you know, either with us or against us.
Sark, Kirby, those guys.
No, yeah, but I do like Petway still. He left, but he was with us for a while.
What about Lane Kiffin?
I mean, I like Lane, but not just he's a goofball. I mean, he's just entertaining. But as far as
no substance,
his allegiance to Alabama and the way that he, you know, trolls and acts like a child, like, yeah, it's fun, but you know, get out of here.
John and I have had a history.
Man that coaches a football team, start acting like it.
Yeah, John and I have had a long history of being against goofballs who are just strictly entertaining. We're against them, absolutely. You know, we're holding the line against those kind of guys out there as well. Who concerns you in the SEC? Not necessarily just to win this year, but you know, maybe taking over the mantle from the Crimson Tide, maybe earning that level of respect that Alabama used to earn. Is it Texas? Is it Georgia? Who concerns you in that regard?
It's with NIL, it's got to be Texas. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, they're the ones that have me concerned that they're just going to take over the world. Right? That would be my biggest concern. Georgia's great. I think Kirby's a great coach, but just Georgia's going to do Georgia things. They're going to choke it away every once in a while, and Texas could just have the amount of money could just blow everything out of the water. I mean, if it's not controlled, Texas could just kill it. But I do feel like there is something about having your team under control, like DeBoer has. I feel like he's the perfect combination of you've got people like that are just all into the NIL, like Texas. There's everything is NIL, pay money. And then you've got Dabo, who's like, I'm not doing anything about, like, you know, it's all camaraderie, teamwork. Yeah. Seems like DeBoer's got a good mix of both of them. We're getting the players we need. We don't have people leaving. You're getting what you want, but we'll see how that goes. You know, this will be the ultimate test of how important that actually is. Is it just players? So it'll be a big test this year to see how much that changes.
I'm with you. It's a big year. We've talked about it. Got to make the 12-team playoff. If they don't, Bama fans are going to go crazy. In your mind, Josh, what's the big difference from 9 months ago? A team that was embarrassed in some bowl game in Florida, I can't even tell you what bowl game it was, loses 2 games on the road as a double-digit favorite. What's changed in 9 months? Why are the football pundits out there saying Alabama's got a good chance to win the national title, play in the SEC title game? They're going to be one of the top teams in the league. What's changed?
Short-term memory. They just, you know, it was when that was happening, it seemed like the end of the world. Now that you really take a step back and look what's going on, we seem to be having a good offseason, right? And I think that's why, you know, you see people starting to buy into the program. I think that's why there's a there's more of a, that's what's changed, is there's proof that people aren't just fleeing for the hills because we had one. We're not losing players because of it. Like, people were scared Ryan Williams was going to leave. All that
Right.
talk.
Yeah.
He didn't leave. We didn't have players. We had nobody leave. So people are still bought in. And I think that's what you have to hang your hat on, is that he's going to come back. People are still bought in and they're going to have a good season. But if not, I don't really know how you justify it for another year. I mean,
oh my gosh. If they had like a, God forbid, a number 9 recruiting class going on right now, maybe not, but, DeBoer is doing the things that Alabama head football coaches are supposed to do during the offseason, keeping his players and recruiting his brains out.
And he's not fazed by it, right? They said when he took the job, you got to have thick skin. That guy's got thick skin. He doesn't seem flustered or fazed by anything that's going on. He feels he at least appears extremely confident. And that goes a long way, right? Especially with the media and what people think is, are you confident in what you're doing? Do your players seem like they're confident? Do they trust you? Do they trust in the process? Whatever it might be, that goes a long way in at least winning people back while you're not playing games. Now, if you don't win, then it's a good off season. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be here before we know it. They're, on the practice field today, as is everybody else around the country. So it is fast approaching, and we certainly looking forward to it. I know you are as well. Josh, as always, man, thank you for hopping on with us on Wednesdays. Always enjoy it. Look forward to doing it again next week.
Good to see y'all.
Always
right,
good to see you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Josh
that.
Harris, our money line magician.
Yeah.
When we come back, it's the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel next.
Mm-hmm.
Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, we are back at it, about 15 minutes to the top of the hour. We have not forgotten. Might have to hold it over till tomorrow. I'm a big uniform guy. I'm a big future schedule guy. I don't know of any future scheduling news, but Barry stumbled upon some uniform news that we're going to get to it. Just don't you worry, I promise.
CBSSports.com, Brad Crawford posted yesterday the preview of the new alternates, helmets, and apparel changes. I'll go ahead and get you real quick. Alabama's not in it because they haven't changed it. Auburn is in it because they've changed apparel. And you'll notice a couple of differences besides the swoosh. For instance, where it says Auburn across the front of the chest, it used to be like in 12-point font.
Yeah.
It'll be in about 24-point font. It'll be a lot more visible across the chest.
And
I know
how's that
I
going to
can
go
name names
over?
if I have to, John. There are going to be some of the old fogies who ain't going to like it.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Barry. I mean, I don't know how well that's going to – what color is that font? That might have something to do with it as well.
Mhm.
I don't get it. I mean, isn't Auburn? I mean, didn't Don Henley sing about the Auburn skies?
Straight
Because
out
they were
at the
kind of
Auburn
orangey.
style.
Yeah, Auburn should incorporate orange more. I don't know. I remember when they put that little tiger eyes on the pants. People,
Oh my gosh! When Bowden put the shadows on the jersey,
Woo,
oh, you would have thought he would have expectorated on the fly.
Yeah, you are not kidding. All right,
Yeah,
so
here we go. Here's the run-up. Here's the setup. The Gurn Jr. Victoryland Topic Wheel. There it is. Gurn has been busy scouring all of his sources for interesting topics from the world of sports and otherwise, presented by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off of I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be the winner, too. Here's the hook. John and I have not seen any of these.
Nope.
This was not done in conjunction with me and John. This is all Gurn Jr., and we get to kind of comment on it on the fly, which, quite frankly, we both have gained a reputation of being pretty good at.
We are. We can do it. Real quick, John, it's the Grilled Grouper Pull Boy at Destin Connection 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call ahead 288-4272. David will have it ready for you. He asked at 848, what seafood is it you prefer on your pull boy? The grilled grouper?
Grilled grouper, yeah. Well, and not just, I mean,
John.
I've eaten other po' boys, but things changed when you eat one of those grilled grouper po' boys at Destin Connection. Yeah.
Awesome. There you have it. Go for it. Okay. Let's spin the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel on this Wednesday. Where it lands, nobody knows.
Here we go.
And it's looking like,
going abroad.
Okay.
The NBA. Okay. 6 regular season games over the next 3 years. Berlin and London next year, Manchester and Paris, and Berlin and Paris.
Beautiful.
So there will be 2 games over the next 3 years in Berlin, 2 games over the next 3 years in London, 2 games over the next 3 years in Paris, and 1 game in Manchester. That sounds like some of the Auburn ambush tour or something like that. Atlanta, Dallas, and Walton Beach or something.
Wait a minute. LaGrange,
LaGrange
City,
was it. Yeah. No. Lately it's been, Atlanta, Nashville, LaGrange. And I'm thinking, LaGrange is in there?
Yeah.
Anyway,
They have a water park over there, I think.
Manchester. All
right. Barry, there again, I'm kicking myself for not asking Greg Sankey, what about the SEC playing games internationally? Next time I see him, I'm asking him.
Yeah, Jason Caldwell made a good point. If you're going to do it, it better be the first game of the year.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. 4 more to go. Let's see what we got. That's a good one. NBA overseas. I'm in. I like it. Let's do it.
All righty then. Let's see. Spin it around.
Here we go. Is this Ty Simpson status at quarterback? Nope.
Not going to miss the playoffs? Playoffs? Boy, this has become a pandemic.
Adam Scott, he is not.
High-profile sports entities not making the playoffs. Tom Kim, Max Homa,
Billy Herschel. Man.
Oh, Gary Woodland. Nope, not heard of him.
Ricky Fowler.
Maybe some work to do. Ricky Fowler, good chance. Tony Finau, 2 guys who had cameos in Happy Gilmore too. Jordan Spieth.
Come on, tighten up. 50th in FedEx Cup standings. Jordan Spieth. I mean, won several majors. You kidding me? Tighten up. What
kind of a year is Justin Thomas having?
Not good.
I thought he'd be one of those names in there.
He is. It's not been good. He's not had a good year.
All right.
3 more to go here on the Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel. Exit 22 off I-85. Shorter, Alabama. Open 365, 24/7. Tradition over. What do we got here?
The Augusta Hooters. Oh, yeah. This is from brobible.com. I'm not sure. Hooters bankruptcy. Hooters is going. What kind of a country is this?
Yeah.
Hooter filed for bankruptcy. And it says here, this is humorous. John Daly's wallet could feel the brunt of the closure of the Hooters in Augusta, Georgia. Yeah, you'd go to the Masters and you're a player. Daly would go to the, practice rounds and all that, the dinners and stuff like that. There is no more Hooters in Augusta. Is this true? I think this is a parody thing. Back again with it, Gern, real quick. Back again. The parking lot of the Hooters in Augusta has served as John Daly's place of residence during the Masters. What? Since 1997, he's during the Masters, he stays in an RV in the parking lot of the Hooters in Augusta.
I'm not going to doubt that, Barry, because he actually stayed in a van at the parking lot of the McDonald's by I-85 before his wife at the time threw everything out into the parking lot and took the van and left him there.
Clothes, shoes, ball markers, clubs, everything.
Yeah.
John saw it with his own two eyes.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But,
tradition over. No more. Why is Hooters? I mean,
how does that not work? I mean, the food's not that great, but the scenery's pretty nice most of the time.
Sometimes, not always. Not always. Every once in a while, it's like when Longshore was Rush chairman back in the day. Who let that person in?
Yeah.
How'd that person clear
sometimes their standards were a little off, and usually in a smaller, like rural location, there's a Hooters
where the recruiting base is not as widespread.
There's a Hooters that I've actually been into. I watched an NBA Finals game there years ago. What is that Peachtree City or Noonan, somewhere like that off 85? I'm thinking, whew, the talent level here is rough.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Tough.
I've only ever been inside of two Hooters in my life. One was in Mobile, and one of them we actually did many, many years ago, a show from the one in Dothan.
Yeah.
I don't know that the one in Dothan's open anymore, with good reason. Whew. But the Hooters in Mobile still going strong, pending the
Not to be
bankruptcy.
confused with the Toy Box 2, which is in that little community right before you get into Dothan.
Well, I got bad news about that, John. That place is crumbling. That place has been closed for a long time, and I think a lot of it was because of what we were talking about, the recruiting base. Where are you recruiting from? It's just south of Ozark.
Yeah, going to Dothan.
Between Ozark and Dothan, just between like Ozark and Midland City.
Maybe that's it. Midland City. I think that's it.
All right.
That's it.
All right, here we go.
Two more to go.
We got this.
Yeah, spinning the Gern Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel, two colors, blue and green. It's going to land on the blue.
Bad Boo.
Bad Boo.
Bad Boo. Oh, Boo Carter will not be dismissed from Tennessee. John has said before, it takes a lot to get dismissed from the University of Tennessee.
You ain't kidding.
Multiple team activities missed, confronted by team leaders. Josh Heupel will have had a press conference yesterday, missed multiple workouts, has a certain zest for living, not exactly a schedule guy, but Josh Heupel says he's still going to be around. Yeah, we're gonna love on him and
give him a little hug his neck and help him wrestle with them angels. No, that was somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So there you go. We're rooting for Boo.
Must be a pretty good defensive back if they're gonna put up.
Yeah. If he was a third teamer, maybe not.
Out of here.
He's a starter. Okay, here we go. One more.
Let's go. One more. It is the blue panel. We're going to spin it to make it official. Got to do that. So
this was Freddie Millens against UCLA, and afterwards, everybody thought that the Crimson Tide were destined for another national championship. Is that this big return?
Could be. Yeah, saw it with my own two eyes.
Return.
Yeah.
Ooh, Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's going to be like a special drop-in every once in a while guy when the NBA on NBC kind of changes. Tracy McGrady.
No way.
Tracy McGrady.
Huh.
Terrific shooting guard. T-Mac, he's going to be a studio analyst. Jordan's not going to be on every show all the time, every time. He doesn't need to do that. But Jordan and Tracy McGrady, let's flip down a little bit. There's my guy. There's Tracy. who looks a lot like Troy redshirt sophomore guard Carrington Keel, but
yeah, I thought that was Herb Jones with a beard and glasses when I first looked at him.
I'm impressed. That's a good get, Green. Well,
yeah, I like it. So no more Shaq in Barkley?
I'm not sure what's going to happen. Barkley may have another year or so. He's the biggest property they've got, but he's kind of getting bored with it, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Hey, love the energy today. Great drop in from CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News, and Josh Harris as well, our money line magician, spending some time with us today. Go down memory lane a little bit. CJ, the definitive source on who was the best two-sport athlete during our lifetime. And we are going to get into uniform updates.
Yes, we are.
You're going to see a little bit of a difference in Auburn. Not much, not enough, but some. And several other schools to look out for tomorrow. Plus, Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com, Travis Ryer, Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com tomorrow as well.
Yeah, brought to you exclusively by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. John, go out there and get you that great po' boy. It's the grilled grouper's my choice, but fried oyster, fried shrimp, anything you want, they'll fix it up for you at the Destin Connection. All right, great day today. Enjoyed it. Hey, Bama hits the practice field in 5 minutes.
Yep, Auburn getting ready as well. Troy is out there too. Nothing, not breaking a sweat or anything, but just out there.
I'm just curious. Why are they starting practice at 9:05? Could they not start it right at 9 o'clock?
Because guys they get a 5-minute grace period.
Oh, okay. There you have it.
Maybe. I don't know. Yep.
All right. So
that's
tomorrow,
it.
Got it.
Yeah, John Longshore, Barry McKnight, Gurn Jr. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.